know what I'm saying? I don't want to see, like I saw Joe Montana, you know, play for the 49ers all them years, then go to KC, and it's like he didn't even look right in a KC uniform.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Not to
number
me.
19.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, certain quarterbacks that put in that time and that effort with a certain organization, and especially if you're able to go back and say, this man won 6 championships, and got us to 3 others that we didn't win. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he has the right to, you know, kind of go out on his own terms. So, you know, I don't. One thing I do know is if Tom Brady goes to another team and wins a championship, or if Bill Belichick gets another quarterback and wins a championship, it's going to expose one or the other to the point where people are going to say, I knew he wasn't that good. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady won a championship without Belichick, so Tom Brady was the reason, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be, it's kind of like a tug of war between legacies to really figure out, you know, who's the real, you know, guy behind the Patriots. But I also can argue that Adam Vinatieri was very critical in those championships. Was very critical in those championships too, because, you know, it wasn't like the Patriots were going to the Super Bowl blowing people out. They was winning nail biters, slugfest battles, and you know what I'm saying? The kicker won a lot of stuff for him. You know what I'm saying? So I think just, you know, in general, I just think in general they should try to keep the gang together and just kind of go out guns blazing. But at the same time, hopefully Brady would give him a discount.
Facts. Jameis Winston, talk to me.
You said what now?
Jameis Winston, talk to me about Jameis. How you feel about Jameis Winston? From the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jameis Winston, the quarterback.
Oh yeah, oh man, he got a big arm, super talented. But man, he get that ball up too much, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's like his biggest issue. But when he was coming out of Florida State, man, I thought he was incredible. But I think what I do like about him though is that, you know, anybody that's watched Jameis Winston, he makes no excuses for the type of player that he is. You know what I'm saying? He takes it on the chin for his team. I don't see him blaming nobody but him. He acknowledges what he does wrong, but he just doesn't take care of the football well enough. And I think that will ultimately be, you know what I'm saying, the demise for him in Tampa Bay. But, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to throwing a deep ball and getting the ball down the field and all kind of stuff like that, he's amongst one of the best quarterbacks in the whole league throwing the deep ball. But, you know, it's just, you know, he makes questionable decisions and pushes a team in a bad spot sometimes. But, you know, I mean, I'm definitely a fan. You know, I'm a fan of all the brother quarterbacks, man. If you kind of go down the line, this is the best era for black quarterbacks ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's all kind of brothers out here that's, you know, that football all around. And, you know, Jameis Winston, you know, he was one of the, you know, people that came in the early stages of these, you know, the black quarterbacks flourishing. And, you know, he was one of those names mentioned, even though he's kind of been pushed to the side now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, and that, see, like with me, I think it's more of kind of like Matthew Stafford. Like, he's had a lot of weapons around him to throw, but me and you both know if you're throwing the ball 45, 50 times a night, you're not gonna win, for one, and for two, you just telling the defense, knock him on his ass, hurry him up, and he'll make these mistakes. I think if they got him Johnson from Cardinals, because they're not using David Johnson anymore. Bring him over there, get him a running back to balance it up. Because they got a shaky ass offensive line. And if you got a shaky offensive line and you got a dude who will throw it, he a gunslinger in the first place, you need to taper that back with some balance. And I think that more than anything is Jameis's problem. Lack of balance.
Oh yeah, I definitely can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you got to think about it, man. A solid running game, man. They keep your quarterback out of his own way, because you already know, man. A quarterback is like a two guard on the basketball court. I mean, I know they like to say point guard, but I like to say two guard because I like to equate throwing the ball with shooting. You know, you kind of get in your rhythm with throwing the ball, and it's almost like shooting a three, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you really if you really put it in perspective, you know what I'm saying? The running back sometimes gets the quarterback out of his own way because, you know, a quarterback always, if you equate him to a shooting guard, just like a shooting guard, he might miss 10 shots in a row, but you can't tell him that 11th ain't going to go. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Jameis Winston is, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He's a very confident guy. He feels like it's not a throw that he can't make on the football field. And, you know, but the ability to throw the ball is a small portion of a football play. The football is the ultimate team sport because you really got to rely on everybody to do their job. You got to rely on the blockers to do what they're supposed to do. You got to rely on the receiver to be, because sometimes you got to throw a receiver open. So you have to trust that he's going to be where he's supposed to be, not where he is, where he's going. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, you know, if you get him a solid running game, just like you said, I do agree with that. You get him a solid running, and David Johnson would be incredible because I remember 4 or 5 years ago, David Johnson was hands down referred to as the best running back in the league at some point with the Cardinals. And I think he might have hurt his wrist or something. That might have been against the Lions. Low-key, I think that might have been against the Lions. And he wasn't the same after that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do think he was, like, really, really dope. And I still feel like he still got a lot in the tank. So he definitely could help. He most definitely could help Jameis Winston. I think that would be one of the biggest things to contribute to him, you know, kind of getting over that hump. Because right now, he just got a reputation for giving the ball up too much, man. And, you know how coach is, man. A coach would rather take a 3 and out than an interception. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, you know, you just gotta, you know, you can't put your defense in a bad spot. You know, that's definitely crush your hopes. You know what I'm saying? As a team. So hopefully you get it together, man. Like I said, I'll be rooting for all the brothers. You know, not to sound biased. I'm not going to apologize for it either, man. The black quarterbacks have gotten such a bad rep through the history of NFL football, making it seem like they can't run no team. I'll never apologize for rooting for the brothers. You know what I mean? You know, I go way back to, you know, Warren Moon. You know, I was a big Warren Moon fan when I was a kid. You know, so it's like, you know, I just and Randall Cunningham and, you know, people like that. So, you know, the rise of the black quarterback in this era just makes me look back at the black quarterbacks that I was able to see when I was younger and just to kind of be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? If somebody would have probably just really believed in them back then, this wave of black quarterbacks probably would have started years ago. But I just feel like they didn't get a fair shake.
Definitely not. Speaking of black quarterbacks, I got one more question in regards to this football get down. Jacoby Brissett, if Tom Brady leaves, my conspiracy theory actually was Bill Belichick traded Jacoby Brissett to the Colts because he was going to get rid of Brady, and he assumed that Luck would be there and Jacoby would come back. What do you think about Jacoby Brissett returning to the New England Patriots and continuing that run?
I mean, put it like this, that wouldn't necessarily, I know probably from the casual fan, they would be like, what? You know what I'm saying? But to know how familiar he is with the system, how he was brought up, it was kind of groomed to kind of take over for the system. They eventually sent him away. But to kind of understand that how much of a system coach Belichick is and the way that he runs stuff, I think that would probably put him a few years ahead of just trying to get any. I don't care if it was an incredible quarterback in the draft. I think Jacoby Brissett going back to the Patriots would put them a few years ahead of trying to groom any young quarterback. So I think that would keep them competitive during that time of, I guess, quote unquote, trying to rebuild after Tom Brady. I still think they would be a very, very competitive team. I think they would still win their division and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a great pickup for them. But my thing is, I'm not sure exactly what the Colts are willing to do with Brissett now that Andrew Luck shut it down. You know what I'm saying? I think that he probably has a little bit more value with them than before, even though I don't think he's their long-term answer. Like, I don't think the Colts view him as a long-term answer, but I do feel like they think he can groom whoever they bring in. Like, they could bring in a young quarterback right now, like even a dude out of Utah State she was referring to. They could bring him in, and they could kind of let him sit and learn for a year, you know what I'm saying, and kind of get it the right way, kind of like Aaron Rodgers got it from Brett Favre, so to speak. You know, hey man, we're gonna give you the clipboard and let you mentally understand the game a little bit better rather than just throwing you in the fire and, you know what I'm saying, putting you in the teeth of the rush, you know what I'm saying, where you might be learning, but at the same time, you still need to grasp the mental aspect of it. And I think that could be beneficial for a young quarterback to have, you know, somebody like that in front of him, you know.
The reason I even brought him up like that is because everybody seems to be hell-bent on Phillip Rivers coming to the Colts. Their head coach, Frank Wright, used to be the offensive coordinator. They keep saying, and he threw, he was the offensive coordinator 3 years in San Diego. He threw 90 touchdowns during that period. So everybody seems to be hell-bent on him going there. Me personally, I like Phillip Rivers. I affectionately call him Bill Murray because it's Groundhog Day with him every week. He down 4 with 80 yards to go, and he throw an interception. That's what I call him. But I do have respect for him. But I think he's gonna end up there, and if he ends up there, then Jacoby Brissett. I think his next stop is the New England Patriots, and they gonna keep it. It's church on the move from that point on, man.
Yeah, I could see that because I mean they make it seem like it's a foregone conclusion that Phillip Rivers is going to end up being with the Colts. So I definitely see it. You know, put it like that. I mean, even with me just thinking with the Jacoby Brissett thing and all of that, I was thinking more or less from a general manager's mindset. But me from a general manager's mindset, I'm not looking at Phillip Rivers. Put it like this: I'm not looking at Brissett and then looking at Phillip Rivers and feeling like Phillip Rivers is a major upgrade from him. I feel like Brissett just needs to spend some time at the helm and let you be patient with him, like they was patient with Andrew Luck. Do you realize how patient they was in Indianapolis with Andrew Luck? He was almost looking like a bust at one point. Not necessarily a bust for his ability, but with his injuries and just everything going on, Andrew Luck wasn't always on fire like that with the Colts. It seemed like the leash was a lot shorter for Brissett once he took over. So I do feel like they're going to probably give up on him for Phillip Rivers, but I think that's fool's gold. I don't think Phillip Rivers will bring a championship to the Colts. To be honest, I don't even see Phillip Rivers in the AFC championship with the Colts. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, he'll probably have some benefits to playing indoors and won't have to deal with the winter elements of playing in Indianapolis, but I don't see him truly being the answer for them. I just don't, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you with the Jacoby Brissett thing. And as well, another point is this. People forget that Jacoby Brissett, before he busted up his knee in the middle of the season, people were having him in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, he was killing it. He was killing it. Right. You know? Yeah. But you know what? The weapons and you would be amazed at what quarterbacks are decent with a line. You know, like some people keep talking all this quarterback stuff. A lot of these people talk this quarterback stuff and don't realize what a quarterback deals with. You know what I'm saying? Just to read defenses and also running for your life. You know what I'm saying? And also. Some people play Madden and think because, they playing the game and can see the whole field. You're not thinking about that, bro. This dude is wearing a helmet, man. His peripheral vision is different than you sitting on the game. He's able to look right and left and scan the field and hit the juke move and all that. That's different than playing football, lying down the barrel with 280-pound defensive linemen running you down that can run like a running back. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot different. It's a lot different than, really playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So I just think a lot of people are looking at fool's gold when it comes to, I think they just associate names with organizations saying, this guy was this here. If we put him there, he's going to do this. It's a lot more elements in football to figure out, if the team is going to be successful or not. And I don't think that Phillip Rivers is necessarily the whole answer for the Colts. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Me personally, I think I would double down on Brissett and maybe draft me somebody young in case it don't work, and maybe just bring him along slowly. Because just like you said, before Brissett got hurt, he was playing, very good football.
Yeah, he was playing. But I mean, I'm not like you said. We're not talking Super Bowl champion. We're not talking league MVP. But you don't. If you have the right pieces in order, you don't need league MVPs. Because think about it.